Hi, I'm James Boznos. I'm principal timpanist of the Hong Kong Philharmonic. I've had the great pleasure of playing on the stage for the past 20 years, and today I thought that we'd show you some of the equipment we use here. First of all, the timpani, the word, it means literally just a head stretched over a shallow bowl or something. So any kind of drum is basically that. But timpani is special in the fact that we have pitch to the instrument. When the instrument first came to Europe in the 1200s, the pitch of the drum probably wasn't so fine because it didn't have the screws. But a couple hundred years later, these screws were invented, and then a player could change the pitch of a drum with their hand. So in the Baroque, the timpani really joined the orchestra, and it wasn't in every piece, but it became quite common. And then up until the time of Beethoven, that's when the drums really became kind of an individual voice in the orchestra, I feel. And part of the reason for that was he used the drum in not just a harmonic punctuation of tonic and dominant. He used it as a rhythmic tool, as a dramatic tool. Maybe I can play for you a little bit of Beethoven on this drum. So around that time, Beethoven, he took the drums to a new level. He gave them solos, he changed the pitches in between movements. It was a very prominent instrument for him. And Berlioz went one step further, like in Symphonie Fantastique, you'll see two sets of drummers on stage. He even in his Requiem, he used 16 timpani. And now, today, composers are looking for different kinds of sound effects from timpani, in addition to all the traditional stuff we do. So I thought I'd show you a couple of those. You take a suspended cymbal, you put it on the timpani, I bow it with a bass bow, and then I move the pedal, and you get all sorts of eerie harmonics from the drum. Or sustained sounds. And also a similar effect is to use what's called a crotale. Also put that on the drum, bow it and move the pedal to get that similar kind of eerie harmonic effect. I think that's quite cool. Another thing that's asked for is to use a regular super ball, bouncing ball. You have to find the right kind of paper clip to put it on, and it ends up sounding like a lion or a whale. So now I think composers are interested in this kind of special sound, often with untraditional effects. And let me show you one more set of drums. This particular set has the calfskin heads on. The other set has a traditional plastic. So in the Philharmonic, I keep one set of each, and then the Baroque drums. So I just wanted to show you a little bit what makes a timpani mallet different from a different one. So here's a couple of different kinds. Basically, we use bamboo for the stick, and then what's on the top is what affects the sound the most. So inside this felt is what really has an effect on the sound. There's either wood inside, cork, leather, or other felt. So in a felt stick like this, you get a very soft, beautiful sound. If we use something that has a leather covering with wood inside, it's a much harder sound. Another kind of stick is what's called flannel, which is like what's in a cotton shirt, but there's many different discs of that cotton layered on top, held with a nut. And this has a kind of clear traditional sound. And in a soft dynamic. It produces some sound from the kettle. And lastly, sometimes composers, they ask us to actually use a snare drum stick, like Benjamin Britten has parts like that, or Edward Elgar. A very different sound. So when we use a different stick, we're usually using it to produce a different color or a different kind of articulation. For a drummer to play staccato or play legato, it's different than a wind player. We have to do that with our punctuation in our wrist and fingers, and also the stick that we use. There's another revolution that's happening now, and I've actually been trying to write pieces for that instrument, and that's using a traditional set in 12 small drums that are hung above, and it brings the timpani into the treble clef. So there's a picture that will show you of what that instrument looks like. Thank you.